Welcome back to WoW Crusade. We're going to have a good show today, right?
Yes, we are.
This is Chris,
This is Brandon.
and we're going to talk about the Burning Crusade expansion that hasn't been announced yet because we're a week before BlizzCon Live. Now, at the very end of this show, I'm gonna replay our schedule that we talked about on Wildilla yesterday. I'm going to replay it at the end of this podcast in case you don't listen to that one. And that way you kind of know what our schedule is of what we're going to be streaming, during BlizzCon Live. But now we're going to talk about the area of Hellfire Peninsula.
Area of Hellfire Peninsula.
Now,
I like this area.
if you're looking at the video, I am standing on the other side of the portal coming in to Hellfire. Now, usually the portal is down here in the Blasted Lands. Now, the map is different now than it was in Burning Crusade. I'm on retail. And so I don't know why they changed it. Probably because of Cataclysm, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I think
right now in retail, you can't go through the portal. You have to actually use one of these portals. You get here, and for Alliance, it's at the Mage Tower, and for the Horde, it's by the entrance of Ogremar in the portal rooms. It'll take you here. But anyways, uh, here's the map of Hellfire Peninsula. This is where you enter, and you come down here, you do some stuff, and then on this side is the Griffin Master for Alliance. And over here would be the Griffin Master for the Horde. And there's two areas. Alliance will be over here at Otterhold, and the Horde will be at Thrallmar. Now, go ahead and tell them the little bit about Hellfire Peninsula.
All right. Well, the Hellfire Peninsula, as he's been talking about there, it's the first level you come to when you go to the Outlands. It was the Hellfire Peninsula, once known as Tannin Jungle, is one of the surviving parts of Draenor. It is a pivotal area of Outland that has been the location of many of the most brutal battles in Warcraft's history. This is where the other side of the Dark Portal is located. Two of its past cities include Hellfire Citadel and Zelth Quar. As its name implies, the Hellfire Peninsula is a grim place. In regards to topography, well, there isn't much. Aesthetically, the ground looks like it does in Durotar. Reddish hue, barren, almost uninhabitable, and hard packed. It reminds me a lot of like the deserts of Texas, stuff like that. There is one key exception though. When you travel on the ground, you note the bones cracking and shattering beneath your feet. These would be the remains of the countless Draenei that the blood-crazed orcs systematically slaughtered prior to bringing their war to Azeroth. The Hellfire Peninsula, indeed, most of the areas that the Burning Crusade introduced is much larger than what the original classic WoW players are used to. Part of the motive for this is to justify the relative speeds at which flying mounts travel. Since there's going to be flying mounts, they made the mounts bigger because flying mounts travel a lot faster than ground mounts because it's just like an airplane in a car.
Yeah.
You don't have to drive over mountains and all that crap. You fly over.
Yeah, and once you get here, you don't just immediately start flying. You will use your ground mount or running or whatever you want to do, but you will not get flying until 70.
Yeah, but
Which,
I mean,
which
flying is
understandable.
awesome.
Because you got to get, was the uh, pilot license or flying license or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
But Hellfire Peninsula tend to be the first questing zone players hit after passing through the Dark Portal. Designed for level 58 to 70 characters. It is a scorched zone, the site of many former battles, like he just said. Players are introduced early on to the threat of the Burning Legion at the Legion front, further learning about Magtheridon's creation of the corrupted Fel Orcs and the sacrifices made in past battles on Draenor. Uh, Players also begin to learn about Draenic and Orcish culture in quest hubs in the Western Peninsula. Now, some of the major questing hubs is Honorhold, Ruins of Shannara, and Temple of Talamat, which are the Alliance ones. The Horde
Temple,
have,
the Temple of Telhamat is where you get first aid.
yeah, then the Horde has Falcon Watch, Maghar Post, and Thrallbar. And then I guess both of them have Zethkor.
Yeah, Zesgor is a neutral area. You do have you talk to. I mean, they're like, okay, Brandon, learn to talk.
Words are hard.
Use your words, not numbers. Did you tell them about the places that you can PvP at? Or are we going to talk about that after?
We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But
Okay.
when you get here, you're going to, if you got professions, you're going to want to, as soon as you get here, you're going to want to learn your professions and get them up higher. Because I think they're, what, 200 now or something like that? Whatever their max. Or 300. I think it's 300.
300?
Yeah.
300?
So once you get here, you're going to want to expand that to whatever 375, I think is what it does. And each expansion goes up 75 points. And so you're going to want to start leveling that up. So learn your professions uh, more. And like uh, herbalism has new herbs in it in the Hellfire Peninsula. Dreamfoil, Dreaming Glory, Fellweed, Golden Samsam, and Mountain Silver Sage. And
I
then
got some of that fail. I got some of that fail weed right now.
oh, 420 friendly, by the way.
420
In case you
friendly.
forgot. Now, when you're skinning things, you're gonna want to,
Oh, they
or
do have
skin
the
them.
new. Yeah, they
We
got the
got
new leather.
crystal infused leather, fell scales, not hide leather scraps, and if you're mining, fell iron ore, corium ore, and aluminium ore. Now, this is what you're going to find around Hellfire Peninsula. Now, the other zones probably has more or different ones or whatever else. Now, there's a lot of new creatures here. I'm not going to go into that, but the one thing I will mention is you will need to watch out for the Fell Reavers. They're
Hey,
huge.
and
They're big.
he's the and they're the master of invisibility.
And they
Dude, I'm
just
serious. You be just questing away, doing. You've been looked around already
and
and
then
looked
you
behind,
and then you
and all of a
hear
sudden,
roar,
yeah, you hear that. Oh, good.
roar, and the
When you
ground
hear that,
starts shaking, and you're like, "Oh no, where
if you
is he?"
if you hear that, you're dead. I'll just
Yeah,
go ahead and tell you.
just
If
about.
you if you make it through Hellfire Peninsula and you don't die by the Fell Reaver, if you can prove to me you video it of you going through Hellfire Peninsula, and I want to see the whole entire video. Better not be no skipping around because I'll know. I want to see the whole video. If you can make it through the whole Hellfire Peninsula, doing all the quests there before you move on to the next zone, I will give you 100 gold.
You heard it here. I'm not going to do that thing to
I
y'all.
will.
So if y'all do it and you can prove to me, I will say congratulations. I'm going to give you 100 gold.
I will. I'll give you 100 gold.
Now, let's see.
That's a lot in TBC.
Oh yeah, that's like 1,000,000 gold right now in retail.
Yeah.
uh, let's see. Now, later on, you'll go to Shatrath and stuff like that, but we're not going to talk about that. But Shatrath is a major city in not Hellfire Peninsula, but in Outlands. It's the major city where both Horde and Alliance get to go there. But we'll talk about all that later in a later podcast.
The later of the
But
podcast. On
before we
later.
go to anything else, we will talk about the PvP zones. If you're looking on the video, which let me make sure the video is still up. Yes, it is. I am right over the dungeons. These 3 red castles right here, that means the Horde control it. These are the PvP zones, the Overlook, the Stadium, and Broken Hill. If they were blue, that'd be because Alliance would be controlling them. And once he gets through, I'll let him talk about the PvP part.
The PvP zones, I don't know a whole lot about them. I do know some of the PvP area. I did a lot. Actually, I did quite a bit of PvP here because this was when we could. I did it on Savage after the fact that I hit 70 because I'd come back through as a bird and swoop down and right before I hit the ground, turn bear form and charge, and they wouldn't know until hit them. But there's 3 PvP objectives: small ruined forts of Broken Hill, the Overlook, and the Stadium. They stand in the center of the region just west of the Hellfire Citadel. You capture each one. What you got to do is you just kind of got to stand there. The faction with the most flag characters within the objective's vicinity will slowly gain ownership of the point. When all 3 points are controlled by a faction, they will gain a zone-wide bonus of plus 5% damage, applicable even within the Hellfire Citadel instances. This bonus is called Hellfire Superiority. So that's why you do the PvP, especially if you're going to do the dungeons, because it gives you an extra 5% damage. So, and that's really actually really nice.
You want me to tell you something? I did not
What?
know this.
Oh, I did. I always remember
uh,
doing it.
I did not know it gave you a zone-wide buff of 5%. I
Oh
did not
well,
know that.
that was because you didn't come over until a little bit later. Everybody was already finished kind of questing in
Well,
that area when you.
I didn't like PvP at all at that
Yeah,
time.
you didn't. Yeah,
If
you did PvP.
I did the quest to go over there, and I remember standing in each one of them for so long to make the
Yeah,
bar
just,
go up or whatever.
yeah.
I did that quest, and that was all I did.
Well, guess what? This time got around, guys. He's going to PvP.
Oh, I am
You
because I like PvP.
He's going to do arenas with me, even if I suck at it. He's
In
still going to do
fact,
it with me.
we should actually get on in PvP some on our tunes and stream it.
I suck at it, but I'll do it.
Oh, I do too.
In addition,
You can see me suck.
any opposing player killed while fighting for the objectives will reward the player and player's party with a PvP token, Mark of Honor Hold, for the Alliance, and Mark of Thrallmar for the Horde. Grouping is encouraged as only the party that performs the killing blow will receive a token. The repeatable quest, Hellfire Fortifications, awards 150 reputation points for either Honor Hold or Thrallmar and 3 tokens. The quest requires the player to capture each point once. It's repeatable and cannot be completed in a raid. The quest can only be completed once per day. The quest is available from it tells you the NPC that it's available by. It doesn't really much matter who it's available by. You'll see it, but it gives you a 60. I guess a 60 on. No, let's see.
Mark?
It gives you 4,300 XP when you do
Oh,
it.
okay.
It gives you 150 rep with honor hold, and it gives you 70 silver and 3 insignias of the alliance. And that's the one that you can do. That's the one that's the first one you can do, and then you can do the daily of it afterwards, which the daily do it once each day gives you 6,600 XP, 150 honor hold rep, and gives you 3 marks of honor each day as well. So you can do it each day and do that, or vice versa for the horde, but they can do it as well.
Now I'm flying over to Overlook right now, and all you got to do is get down here and stand here. I think, right?
Yeah, you just gotta stay inside of it. You gotta stay. There's a certain little area that you gotta stay inside, and you stay inside of it until the bar goes up, and the bar will start going up. And you got to be in PvP, of course.
Oh, I'm not in PvP. I'm like, there's no bar.
Yeah.
I thought it automatically put you in PvP.
No, you gotta flag PvP for that.
Oh, okay, that's why it's not. Okay. Anyways, I'm flying over the PvP zones right now. And once he gets through coughing, he can tell you about the capturing. This is the stadium.
I talked about capturing once you capture them.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. And then here is Broken Hill.
Yeah, I just it'll just put a little flag up for your race or alliance or horde. It'll either be the lion or it'll be the horde symbol.
Now, once you get so many marks, 15 marks will get you a ring. Band
See,
of Victor for either Alliance or Horde, which is 25 stamina, and it's got a red socket. Which, by the way, jewel crafting is a new profession here that kind of goes along with mining. And so jewel crafters can make those red sockets. And if you've got it socketed, it's got +4 attack power. And if you equip it, increase your critical strike rating by 13. And the other ring it has, 25 stamina, also a red socket, and it gives a socket bonus of +2 spell damage and healing. And if you equip it, improves spell critical strike rating by 13. It's called Circlet of the Victor. And then 10 marks will give you gems. So the Mighty Blood Garnet, which is red. Also the Stark Blood Garnet is red. The Barbed Deep Peridot is green. Notched Deep Peridot is it? Oh, it matches yellow or blue on those two. And the first two are red socket. And also 5 marks will give you either an Honor Hold favor, which is for Honor Hold, of course, for an Alliance, and a Thrallbar favor for Thrallbar or the Horde. And then if you use it in Hellfire Peninsula and Hellfire Citadel, it increases Honor Hold reputation gain from killing monsters by 25% and experience gain by 5%. There's a 30-minute duration.
I'm telling
So,
you guys, just save them. Save them until you get as many as you can because there's good stuff higher up. The more you have.
oh yeah, because that's all it tells you. Tells me
That's all
that.
it tells you right there. It comes late. I think I want to say it's later in the not this. It's later. I want to say in one of the other patches. They they add a few things to it. I want to say, or maybe they're. I know there's somewhere where you can spend more than just what they have there. It is good to buy the thing for the extra XP though.
Yeah, if you want to level quicker, then yeah, you're going to want the favor, so you can get the reputation gain and the killing monsters from killing monsters and 25 experience gained by 5%. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you want a set of 2 good rings, then there you go. So if you like PvP, it's going to be nothing for you then, probably. And then that's it for. I think we're pretty much done with the whole area. I
Yeah,
don't
that pretty
see
much
anything
thumbs
else.
up kind of
Just
that sums
be
up
careful
Fire
of
Peninsula.
the Fell Reaver, and if does the green pools you can't stand in them while you're in fight and stuff. Does it hurt like
No,
acid or something? I can't
yeah,
remember.
don't stand in anything.
Yeah, now you can get easily be overtaken pretty good because, of course, any humanoids will run off. Like these guys that are right in front of me. If you're fighting them, you get them down. They'll they'll turn around and look dazed and kind of start walking off towards another mob, and you got to be careful about that. And just be careful. You can get pretty overrun pretty easy here, if I remember correctly. And like he said earlier,
Well,
you could be fighting, all of a sudden the ground's shaking, and you're dead because the Fell Reaver, you didn't even know he was coming. He's right there. And
I want to say that if I remember correctly, if Blizzard did it right, they these spawns are something like the spawns on the stuff that's there. I can't remember what they call it, but Blizzard has a name for it, where they spawn things at a super high rated speed because so many people are there.
oh yeah,
Killing them.
they turned the spawn rate up.
I
But
want to call it like hyper spawn. I think is what they call it.
if
Their
there's a
areas are
lot
hyper
of
spawn.
people in that area, which when you come here, it's probably going to be overrun. Which Brandon's going to tell you something here in a minute.
Well,
It's going to
for
be
instance, like
overrun. There's going to be a lot of players in
for
Hellfire
instance,
Peninsula.
like for instance, like in classic, for instance, what people are playing now and stuff like that. Caves, for instance, are hyper spawns. If you go into a cave and you start killing everything in that cave, the game is set to know that, so it starts hyper spawning stuff in that cave. That's why you get the back spawns so quickly, and you end up dying because you're still in there when that hyper spawn happened because you've killed stuff so fast. That's the same thing that happens in Hellfire Peninsula, but it happens at a faster rate because there's so many people there that they start hyper spawning everything. And you could kill a mob, and sometimes it could literally spawn right back on you right after you kill it, like it spawns again. I mean, I've sat there and killed the same exact orc 10 times to pick up the 10 things that I needed off the same exact one and never
Yeah,
had to move one time.
yeah. I remember I did that right when Classic first started. I played a little bit, and I went to a cave, and I practically stood in the same area. And I remember there was like two other people that stood there with me. We didn't even group up, and we stayed in the same little area of the cave and kept killing the same mobs over and over again.
Yep.
And you wasn't pissing each other off because, but they would kill something and they'd walk over here, and by the time they started fighting something else, that mob that they just killed reappeared. So
Yep.
there would be three or four people in that same little small area, and you wasn't. It didn't matter because you were. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
It
You could
does not.
literally you could literally follow each other around in a big circle and kill the same
Yeah.
exact mobs over and over again and all get XP for it.
Oh,
Everybody
I
would get
just
their
hit the
kill
mic.
their drops for it and everything.
Hope that wasn't loud. I just hit the mic. But yeah,
Drop.
so Brandon's got a tip for people if they want to start this overrun.
Yeah, like for instance, when I remember this, I remember very clearly because I was waiting at the portal, like to go. I was there, like I was waiting. I was ready. Let's go. We crossed over, and I'm telling you, I mean, I'm not going to say the computer I had was the best, but I ran for the most part without really any lag. When I hit Hellfire Peninsula, it trashed everything that I knew about no lag. I mean, it was like walking through a bowl of jello. There's so many people fighting over the same mobs. This was the last expansion that they had one starting area for the Horde and Alliance both to start at. because it there were so many people that it would crash. It crashed some of the servers. The servers were having problems, stuff like that. Especially really really densely populated servers, they would crash. They probably crashed 2 or 3 times because there were so many people trying to get to the same location. So there was just too many things there. Um, my tip to you is if you show up into the Hellfire Peninsula and there you see that there's hundreds and hundreds of people fighting over the same mobs and you don't want to contend with those people, go ahead and skip on over to the next zone called Zanger Marsh.
Hey, I found out something.
What?
All right. Hellfire Peninsula level range is 58 to 63.
Yeah,
So if you're over 63, there's no reason everything's probably either green or gray. Zager Marsh is 60 to 64. So if you're
exactly.
60, like you said, go straight to Zager Marsh. Just
Yeah.
kind of just get on your mount and haul butt and go to Zager Marsh.
I mean, you can go back to Hellfire Peninsula later and do that stuff, and I mean, and you can even do the raids because, or the dungeons because was it TBC that allowed you to have LFG looking for group, or was that Wrath?
Wrath.
Okay, but TBC allows you to use the meeting stones to summon people.
Yeah.
Okay, you get a couple of people that go there, they can put because and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you type in /join space looking for group, that is a channel that they don't start you out having in your chat, but that's a channel that is in every single zone everywhere. They always have a looking for group channel. And that channel right there, people will advertise in it. They're looking for people for, this dungeon or that dungeon. And you, they'll already be there and be like, we can summon you. And they'll summon you with the dungeon, with the meeting stone. So the meeting stones turn into summoning stones. But that's really nice. It makes it really nice.
All right.
But yeah, my
So,
little tip. That's my little tip is if it's overran, go hit Zenger Marsh up. Zenger Marsh is prettier, anyways.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, the meeting stone, I'm standing right in front of it if you're watching the video. This is the meeting stone for Hellfire Citadel. And if you run to the left of that, you will enter Hellfire Ramparts.
Ramps.
Yeah, everybody always calls it ramps for short. Now Classic doesn't have all this because there's 3 quests or 3 people standing right here. That's not in Classic, so don't just
No,
ignore
and
these 3 guys. But more or less the layout is the same. It still is the same layout and everything. The bosses are the same. So I'm gonna kind of show you on video, but it's not going to be all about video. We're going to talk about it also for the people who are not watching. But
yeah,
where did it go? I lost it.
as you're going through the first area of it, there's some pull and kill quests. I do know that the pulls are usually like 3 pulls plus or 3 mob plus pulls.
Yeah.
So, the CC, yeah, I don't worry too much about it, but there are some bigger pulls, and you'll pull those and pull those and pull those and pull those and pull those for a while, and you'll finally get to this crazy big guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about the ramparts in the whole first. Now this it makes up the first wing of Hellfire Citadel instance in Hellfire Peninsula or Outland. The Citadel itself sits in the center of the zone in the middle of a broken up wall that divided the zone before the conflict began. Ramparts takes place atop this wall along the sides of the Citadel. This is the first instance available to players of the Burning Crusade and can be completed wearing dungeon set items. It gives rewards that are on par with Molten Core gear or even slightly better. So, now, the instance has 3 boss encounters and 4 bosses. and I'll let him go ahead and take it over for the first boss.
It is Watchkeeper. I always call him Watchkeeper Gargamel. That's not his name. I almost said that right now. That's not his
Garglemar.
name. Yeah, his name is Watchkeeper Garglemar. And it sounds like you're gargling marbles. Um, he's not bad, I guess, but he does have some stuff that he does. He does have two guys that come with him that are Hellfire Watchers. Um, they have abilities like heal, and he asks for heals, and they will heal him. So you want to kill his Hellfire Watchers pretty quick. Like those are the first two things I always take down. I take those two down first. After you take those down, you can take him down. He has some abilities. He has Overpower, which inflicts physical damage after you dodge an attack. He has Mortal Wound, which inflicts physical damage to whoever's hit, and it reduces healing done by 5% for 20 seconds. He also has one that does 10% for 30 seconds. I think that's on Heroic. And then Surge, he inflicts physical damage to all players and knocks them down, or knocks them all back. So those are his abilities. He's really a tank and spank as long as you take the Hellfire Watchers out. It's not a difficult fight, like I said. Clear the groups around him and the path that he paths down. Just make sure you clear all the groups there, and you shouldn't have any trouble at all beating him.
If you're watching the video, this is where he comes around at. He's right over here, and he pats over here. So the first, I'm showing you the quick way to do it when you're overpowered. So don't expect to be playing like this because you're gonna want to pull slowly, and you're gonna want to let him come over here. If you still got a bunch of mobs over here alive, you're gonna want to back up and let him kind of pat back, and then because you're gonna want to clear the area. Now,
Oh yeah,
and then just kind of wait for him to go back up and keep killing things until. Now you don't have to kill everything in the area, but you're gonna want to make sure the area's pretty cleaned out, and then take him and everything in a small area. Because I don't think they run around at all. But you need to concentrate on his two followers. I don't know if you said that because they heal him.
yep. I said take them down first.
Okay. So, all right. Now I'm going to move
I
on
didn't.
to the next one.
No, I didn't get to talk about the drop, so you have to hold on a minute.
Oh.
The loots. The loot. You didn't let me tell anybody about no loots.
Oh, I got the potent fire opal. Which,
Well, that's not even one of the loots right now.
oh, well, see.
In the
I mean,
in the oh, you got the iridescent fire opal,
potent fire opal.
potent fire opal. Well, that's not one that's here. The loots that you can
It
get
could be
from him.
different. So,
The loots you can get from him are leather bracers, 140 armor, 18 agility, 28 stamina, level 60 to use. Light touched breastplate, one of the best breastplates to start out. It is a for plate wearers. It had for casting plate wearers because it has 684 armor, 38 intellect, 25 stam, 12 critical strike rating, and then it has 3 prismatic sockets. Use the right colors. Prismatic sockets are any color. You use the correct socket or the correct gem in there, it will give you +5 spell power. He also drops cloth pants, pauldrons of the arcane rage, 11 armor. Or no, these are shoulders. I'm sorry. 11 armor, 13 intellect, 20 stamina, and 8 versatility. He could drop this one. I really like. It's the Shadowrend Longblade. It's a cool one-hander. It's got 12 stamina, 22 attack power, and 12 critical strike. And then there's some mail pants that he can drop. that are 426 armor, 22 agility, 35 stamina, 16 critical strike rating, 3 prismatic sockets. If you use the right colors, you get 4 spirit. Then all of the stuff, I mean, and all bosses have a chance to drop like 4 to 5 different things. It's not anything like class.
Alright, now I'm getting to the second boss. I just killed him. Omar's unscarred. And once I
Oh,
get...
more.
Hold on 1 second. I'm opening it up. Now, he's the second or third boss of the Hellfire Ramps wing of the Hellfire Citadel instance in Hellfire Peninsula. Now, you can choose whether you wish to fight him before or after Fazrudin and the Zan. Because there was a fork in the road back there, and I came this way. I always like to fight him second. So, now, a little background. Or are we doing background?
Look at him.
Alright, now, he was a disciple of Hakar the Houndmaster and took charge of the legendary warrior's remaining fellhounds after his master's defeat during the War of the Ancients. Since that time, Omar has never been defeated in single combat. The venerable demon is Illidan's envoy to the Fellworks of Hellfire Citadel. Now, he's got several abilities. Orbital Strike, Shadow Bolt, Treacherous Aura, Bane of Treachery, and Summon Fiendish Hound. And the Fiendish Hounds have drained life. So you're going to want to take them out. Now, the Treacherous Aura, which you probably don't know, it surrounds a player in Treacherous Aura, causing them to inflict 360 to 440 shadow damage to all players within 15 yards every second for 15 seconds. Bane of Treachery surrounds a player in Treacherous Aura, causing them to inflict 2,700 to 3,300 shadow damage to all players within 15 yards every second for 15 seconds. And then, let's see. Now, for normal, he's mostly a take and spake fight with a few variations. Before you begin, clear the 2 guards in front of him separately. They are not linked to Omar and can be pulled without chaining the boss. Then when the party is ready to have your tank go in and build some aggro. Now, space out to avoid damage from his curse, Treacherous Aura, which should be removed if possible. Failing that, pay attention to the cursed... Sorry, I'll scratch my eye. Cursed person and keep them away from other players and let the curse wear off. The room where you go fight Omar is circular. If you have ranged DPS, characters can stay at range from Omar and away from one another by making corners, 2 in front and 2 in back, with the tank on him. This will avoid the effects of being cursed, but may require an off healer for the 2 in the back. Make sure the Fellhounds are dealt with quickly, as their draining abilities are quite potent. They can become problematic if they run free in a fight where players are split up to various degrees. Easy to nuke down, and Warlocks are particularly valuable here, as they can single-handedly deal with both adds. The Fellhounds are not elite, and any melee DPS can make quick work of them. Now, Omar doesn't always use the Shadow Bolt or Shadow Whip ability on his highest aggro target, so the only one to suffer from it should generally be melee DPS. Maneuver yourself over to Omar so that you can rejoin the fight immediately on landing. So, yeah. Now, heroic, I'm not going to get into all that. We'll let you check into that because you can watch videos and everything else. There's YouTube videos everywhere. But I will tell you, on normal, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that could drop. Bloodstained Ravager Gauntlets, which are male hands. It gives 13 agility, 30 stamina, and 13 crit. You gotta be level 60. I think all these are level 60, yeah.
Yeah.
They are. And then Tenacious Defender, which is a plate waist, 15 strength, 14 agility, and 19 stamina. And both of these have two prismatic sockets. The first one gives a +3 intellect if you've got them both socketed. And the plate one has a socket bonus of +3 PvP resilience. And then another item, the Heartblood Prayer Beads, is a neck piece. It's got 10 intellect, 15 stamina, and 7 versatility. Crystalline Staff is a two-handed staff. It's got 85 intellect and 43 stamina and 11 crit.
That's 95 intellect, brother.
Yeah, well, it's small on here and I can't tell. My contacts are getting dry, so.
It's all right, guys. He's getting old. You don't understand. He
No,
needs
my
his glasses.
contacts really are getting dry, but yeah, I am getting old. And then a neck piece called Garrote String Necklace. Or Garrote.
Garrote string necklace.
See, I fixed it before you told me. Haha. And then it's got 16 stamina, 36 attack power, and 14 crit. And then the last thing that can drop is a Heartfire Warhammer. It's a two-headed mace, 19 strength, 38 stamina, 39 stamina, 10 hit, and 10 crit. Now the Heroic has a lot of stuff that can drop. I'm not going to talk about all those. Yeah, and the Heroic version drops gems or jewels.
Yep, only the Heroic version will drop the jewels.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to talk about the last encounter. Which I'm going to run to.
The last encounter is Vazrudan. Vazrudan is an armored fell orc who can be found flying around the tower of the Hellfire Ramparts wing of the Hellfire Citadel instance in Hellfire Peninsula on his nether drake named Nazan. He had a riding crop, but Nazan took it since he refused to let Vazrudan hit him with it. Vazrudan's guard, the adventure, like the little adventure guide things that what it tells about him, is Vazrudan guards the vital line of supplies, messages, and forces flowing between Hellfire Citadel and the Black Temple. Astride his magnificent nether drake Nazan, Vazrudan presents an unstoppable aerial force of fire, claws, and shrieking terror. There are 2 stages to this fight. And there are abilities that happen in stage 1, and there are abilities that happen in stage 2. Stage 1, your time is running out. There is Shield Slam, which Vazrudan slams his current target, inflicting physical damage and stunning them for 2 seconds. Revenge, which is a counterattack. Everybody knows what revenge is. Vazrudan's Mark, he marks a player, and it causes Nazan to attack them for 6 seconds. If he marks you, it doesn't just attack. I know it attacks you, but don't just stand in one spot, because there's fire that he leaves when he shoots it at you.
Oh, yeah.
So when he shoots at you, it leaves a little puddle of fire. So don't run into a group. Just kind of run to the outer edge and kind of run along the wall there. It's not that hard. It's only for 6 seconds. So by the time you get out, it'll be over. But don't just stand there, because it's just a puddle of fire and it will burn you. I mean, it's not the invisible fire burning a friend off of it's real fire. It's burning you. Yeah. Now, in Nazan's fight, that's Nazan's fireball. It says it does fire damage to a player, creating a patch of liquid flame at their location for 15 seconds. Liquid flame inflicts fire damage to all players within just who stand in it. So then after you've done that, you'll knock him down. Stage 2 is Nazan himself. When Vazrudan reaches 40% remaining health, he calls for Nazan to land and aid him on the ground. Nazan does his normal fireball. He also has a cone of fire, which inflicts 4100 to or 4200 to 4900 fire damage to all enemies in front of him, and the bellowing roar, which causes all players to flee for 4 seconds. So it's a fear. The strategy is Veridan, along with his mount Nazan. They're the last bosses. There's 2 guards at the bottom of the ramp, and you can kill them. Now, after that second one dies, Vazradan lands and starts the fight. So be ready as soon as the second little guard dies, because he's going to be ready. You're going to be ready to fight him. He'll fly down. It's a tank and spank fight. There are 2 ways of overcoming this counter. Tank and spank Vazradan, taking him down fast. He's pretty tough, but he hits fairly hard. Keep an eye on the Nazan firing the AoE fireballs at everybody. Don't stand in them. Move out of that. No one is to attack the flying dragon. I don't care if you're a hunter and you can shoot the dragon. Don't shoot the dragon. Shoot Vazradan. Don't shoot Nazan, because when he lands, he's going to bite your face off. So don't do it.
Yeah, because you've been shooting him this whole time. He's gonna be pretty pissed off at you, so he's gonna come at you. The tank needs to get aggro. If you've been shooting him with arrows or bullets or whatever, he's not gonna care about the tank.
Now there is that's the way to do it. One way to do it. There is an option B. DPS Nazan while he's in the air and off tank Vazradan. Nazan won't land until Vazradan is at 40 to 50% health, or if Nazan himself is on 20%. He'll start moving around the area and spitting fireballs at random people. Pets and even snake traps help with that, setting up more random targets for Nazan to choose from. He'll move around the area. He's got like 3 different locations he'll stop at, and that's where he can be DPS'd. Even melee can DPS him when he stops at those 3 spots. He can also hit melee from those 3 spots. So it's advised that the tank brings Vazradan while Nazan is airborne. He just kind of fights him. If you have a lot of melee in your party to avoid getting killed, you want to avoid being killed. Because he'll hit a rogue for about 1,000. So you don't want to be you don't want to be in front of him. There's a lot of aggro reset when he lands. If you try this second where you take Nazan down first, there is an aggro reset when he lands, but it's not that great of one. But you do want to let your tank grab aggro for him. So once if he's in the air, stop putting dots on him at about 30 to 40%, depending on how much DPS your party has. But it says, Nazan, and when Nazan will land when Reridon is close to dying. If Nazan himself is on 20%, then he'll land, of course, anyway. But that's pretty much the fight. You can do it both ways. I've always done it: kill him first, and then kill the dragon afterwards. When the dragon lands, kill it afterwards. That's how we've always done it. There's so many different ways of doing it. You can take him over to the bridge and fight him. You can use a decoy healer and fight him. Warlocks can use their Fel Guard tank and fight him. There's so many different ways that you can do this fight. But
when you first do it, be safe and just do it the original way.
Do it the original way. It's pretty easy. There is some really nice loot. Really nice loot. There's when you kill Nazan, a reinforced Fel iron chest will spawn to the side. And it has 2 pieces of loot from this encounter in there. There's 2 pieces in it. But you want to make sure you wait a bit after killing Nazan for the chest to spawn. The usual strategy is putting Nazan in the center of the ring, blah, 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 and that's where you fight him at. But the gear that drops is Bind of Renewal. It is a ring. It's 10 intellect, 15 stamina, and 8 versatility. There's another ring that drops that is 11. It's called Moknathal clan ring. It's 11 stamina, 10 PvP resilience, and 49 versatility. Another ring that drops, which is the the Witching Band, which is 18 intellect and 28 stamina. There is a cloak, Moknathal Wilder cloak, which is 114 armor, 21 stamina, 21 PvP resilience. Now this comes out of the reinforced Veil Iron chest.
Yeah.
Another thing that drops is the Hell Reaver.
Yeah.
It is a two-handed pole arm that just looks like a giant paddle, but it has it's a pole arm. It's got 30 strength, 27 stamina, and 25 critical strike rating. Insole clompers, plate feet, 471 armor, 14 strength, 19 stamina, 19 dodge, and it's got 2 sockets. But you get those right, and it gives you 3 dodge. Kilt of the Rolling Thunders, 20. It's male legs, 29 armor, 17 agility or intellect, depending on what spec you're in. 26 stamina, 12 versatility, 3 prismatic sockets, and it gives you 4 critical strike if you get those right. Life Giver breeches, which are cloth legs, 13 armor, 17 intellect, 20 stamina, 26 stamina, 8 versatility, 3 prismatic sockets, and it gives you 4 versatility if you get those right. Shifting Sash of Midnight, which is a leather waist piece, 15 agility, 30 stamina, 2 prismatic sockets. Get those right, it's 3 dodge. And then Ursul's Claw, 2-handed staff. This thing right here is nasty for a druid. It is a staff. It's got 17 agility and 32 stamina. That's the only thing that druids want. But you want the upgraded version of it that comes out of Heroic, because that's the one I had.
Oh yeah, that you use that for a while.
Yeah, I had that one for a long time.
But
that's that last boss is it's fun. It really is.
now, if you want to know an easy way, once you defeat everybody, easy way to leave is if you look on the video right behind me is where you fight the dragon and everything. But of course, if you're not on the video, the chest spawns at one end. Just turn around and head back over the bridge, like you were walking towards the front. And right here to the right after the bridge, right to the right, is a drop down. You could just jump down here, and guess what? You're at the very beginning.
Oh, and a little trivia for you, or a little tip for you guys. If you're looking for the Hellfire Reaver or the Hell Reaver, which is the weapon, and it didn't come out of the chest, make sure to check his body, because he does have a chance of dropping it off of his body as well, because that's his personal weapon.
Okay. Now, for you rogues, a lot of people were sneaking in here as rogues, and they would come around here to the first boss, and right here on the video. But anyways, right around the first boss, the chest, and a lot of rogues were sneaking in here. They would grab the chest, and they would sneak back out and reset the instance and rinse and repeat. I'm standing right about where the chest spawns. But anyways, and so that's why there's no chest in here right now, because I can't show you, because they found out that's what was going on, so they removed the chest.
Yep, but it's still there in TVC, and guess what, guys? I'm going to have a rogue for that reason only. You'll see my rogue standing there for probably an hour or two, because I think you can only reset 3 times in
I think
an
it's
hour.
3 or 4 times an hour or something like that.
But dude, 3 times in an hour, you can sneak back there. You can grab that chest because he passed away far enough. You can grab that chest, get what's in it, go back into stealth, and walk right out of it. Nobody ever knew you were there. And you can pickpocket you can pickpocket stuff from the guys along the way.
Yep. But heroics, you can't do that too. I don't think.
Oh, you can't go into her. You have to. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to
Let's
go in
see.
there on her.
Well,
Oh, so,
uh, once you hit 60 or
70.
70, I mean,
Yeah.
you'll now once you hit 70, you will want to run these as heroics if you have the gear,
Yeah.
because if you do them as heroic, they give you better gear, and you'll want to
And to get
replace
chip
all your gear
changes,
with this better gear, because then you can start running uh, raids and stuff like that.
it gives you epic gems as well.
Yep.
It's not the greens or the blues. It gives you epic gems. It gives you
So
at least. I
if
think each boss drops at least one epic gem.
if I remember correctly, what you got to do to get into raiding is level up, run dungeons, and then once you get 70, get make sure you got better gear. If you got a crafter, whatever, then start running heroic dungeons. Get get all good heroic dungeon gear, and uh, they have an add-on for to see which gear is where. What is it called? Is it Atlas Loot?
Yeah.
Atlas Loot is a good add-on to have. That way you can find out where the better gear is, and you're going to want to run that heroic dungeon until you get the better gear so you can go to the raids, which we
Um,
will talk about later also.
I will tell you that there's dungeons that all combine together. From each dungeon, you can get pieces out of it, and it's actually called your tier 1.5 set
Oh, yeah.
because TBC brought out tier 2. Tier 1 was in vanilla. That's your tier 1. You get your tier 1 set. They're the named sets. TBC brought out tier 2, but you can get what they call dungeon sets, which are tier 1.5. And you can collect all the pieces from. There's different dungeons. You can. I can't remember exactly what they. It's not like they're pieces of gear that you put together, like the Defias set or anything like that, that gives you any bonus. But it's just the best gear that you can get from each one of those. It's called your dungeon set, tier 1.5. I actually had that going into raids, and that gear will put you at raid level to where you can do raids. And you can perform quite nicely because, believe me, as a boomkin, I was out DPSing everybody, and I was told that I had to stop doing that because I will pull aggro.
And once you start raiding, do not play a mage and open with Pyroblast.
Yeah, that gets you killed. The tank will let the thing eat your face.
No matter how geared you are, don't open up with Pyroblast because you will automatically pull off the tank.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm speaking from experience. All right, well, I think that's a wrap. I think we did a good episode here.
yeah. I hope everybody enjoys it. And then, like he said, he's going to play or he's going to put our schedule for BlizzCon at the end of this episode. So if you haven't listened to it on anything else, stay tuned at the end of the episode and you'll hear our schedule for BlizzCon.
And if you've already heard it, then the podcast is over for you.
Yep.
So then
Unless you want to listen to it again.
have fun playing the game.
As always.
All right, now we're going to talk about BlizzCon Live.
Yeah.
Yay! Now, it starts at 2 their time, which is 4 our time. And it's going to start with the opening ceremony. Now, the opening ceremony is on all 6 channels. We know all the channels are going to be, there's one Blizzard, one for World of Warcraft, one for Hearthstone, one strategy is like StarCraft and stuff like that. I guess it's just StarCraft. Is the only one I
I think
know
it's
of.
StarCraft, just StarCraft Legends, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Blizzard's just about anything Blizzard because there are going to be some
Excuse
rebroadcasts like of Diablo and Overwatch. So that's the thing that with Blizzard is it's going to be a little bit of everything. So we're going to watch the opening ceremony. Me and Brandon's going to watch it and stream it. I'm going to stream it on Heartland PAE, all one word. And he's going to be streaming on his, which is
Beepo underscore gaming. That's BEEPO underscore gaming. Twitch.
okay. And then after the opening ceremony, we're going to watch World of Warcraft. What's next? And then depending on what gets announced, I'm either going to keep watching and watch World of Warcraft Deep Dive, or I will go to Diablo What's Next, the rebroadcast. And Brandon, what did you say you were going to do?
I will probably jump down into the Hearthstone deep dive, what's left of it, and then watch the Hearthstone Battlegrounds exhibition
Yeah.
because that seems. I know some people in my channel they wanted to see me play Hearthstone, so I'm going to start doing some of it as well, and I just kind of want to know what's going on with that. So we'll watch some of that Hearthstone Battlegrounds exhibitions.
Okay,
We
so
might jump back and forth, there between that and some of the World of Warcraft stuff, but mainly it'll probably be the Hearthstone exhibitions on my channel.
if I do watch the World of Warcraft Deep Dive, at the end of that, I'll probably jump over to Hearthstone myself because I do play a little bit. I'm getting into it a little bit more and more. Not so much like Brandon is, but if I watch the Diablo What's Next rebroadcast, then I'll just stick with it. Then after that, I'll switch over to the Hearthstone. But that way we can just talk. I might go switch over to World of Warcraft over off and on. It just all depends.
Yeah, I'm thinking what I'll do for that is watch that for a little while, and depending on how everything's going with that, by 7 o'clock, they end it by about 7:30. I might end it a little bit early, and depending on how everything's looking, I'll either go over and play my hardcore character, level something with you if you're on, or
Yeah,
duos or something,
that's probably what we'll
or
do.
we can do the duos, and you can stream it, and I'll stream mine, and we'll
And
do
that
it that way, and
and
that'll be
that's
fun.
Friday.
Yeah, that's Friday.
Then Saturday, I will probably still be at work. Brandon will actually get on and do the World of Warcraft Q&A.
I'll do that
He'll
from
do
PA.
it. He'll do it on both Heartland PAE and Beepo underscore gaming. And then the community showcase, which of course, we're going to watch that because it's on every channel. We got no choice.
Yeah, that's gonna be good too. That's actually, if you read it, did you see what it is?
Yeah, that's why I said I'm not too interested in it, but I'd still watch it. And it might be really interesting. I don't know.
This is like where the people dress up in cosplay outfits of like the
Yeah,
different characters of the game and stuff like that. Dude, it's really good. Some of those
yeah.
people have really
They'll be
have
talking
they
about
have
the
some,
very best of art, talent, storytelling, and cosplay for the Blizzard community.
it's some good stuff.
Yeah. And
And then
then what was we
after
gonna do after
after
that?
after that, I'm not interested too much in the evolution of Thrall, so I'm
Yeah,
jumping back into the Hearthstone.
yeah. I think that's what I said I was gonna do.
Because what we're going to do is we're going to watch this little 5 minute skit that it joins the voices of Innkeeper himself, Terrence Stone, as he listens to impressive Innkeeper voice lines submitted by Hearthstone community and decide which ones are common, epic, or legendary. So it's going to be a little thing where people who play the game, who sit their little, their voice in or whatever, and they're going to rate them from best to worst or worst to best or whatever. And just a little something fun, and then you're going to get to watch some streamers. They are actually, it says here, Visual Core and Shaman V presents Streamer Showdown, a live game show that brings you favorite online personalities and streamers together for a battle of wits. The special Hearthstone edition at BlizzCon Online features Crip. I know who Crip is. Alex Straza, Liv Breeden, and Alec Dawson. So I know all these people. They're very good Hearthstone players. Very good Hearthstone players. Very good streamers. Check their streams out. I mean, they're very good. So shout out to them. Crip's a very good Hearthstone player. He's very good at Battlegrounds. So Alex Straza, she's very good. So check them guys out. They're really good. Check out their streams for sure.
And then
But that's probably
and then at 5:15, we're going to switch over to World of Warcraft Cooking Workshop. The
yes.
reason why we're going to do that was because hopefully soon we'll be announcing a new podcast, which will be both video and podcast version. The video will show us actually cooking stuff. The podcast will, of course, you'll just hear it. But Brandon wants to get into cooking World of Warcraft stuff. So I bought him 2 actual World of Warcraft cookbooks.
Yep. I'm going to start cooking stuff.
Yep.
I think it'll be fun.
It'll be fun to actually watch this cooking workshop. So Brandon really get interested in doing it. Which I don't think he can get any more interested in doing it.
It's food.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be interested?
One is food, 2 is World of Warcraft, his 2 favorite things. Yeah. So, well, 2 of his 3 favorite things, probably.
Yeah.
Mr. 420.
Always friendly around here. Always friendly around here.
Then after the cooking workshop, that pretty much ends the night, which will end about 6:30 for us, our time, which will be 4:30 that time.
Yep. And then we'll probably
hardcore.
We'll probably either play hardcore tunes, probably play hardcore tunes some more. Till I would like to play hardcore tunes from that time till about, I say 9ish, and then about 9ish switch over to retail and play our retail characters. Get them level up. They're almost 60, get them there. You want to see. I mean, I want to see the hardcore tunes, but I want to see that retail.
Yeah, we need to do some retail too. So
I want to see what that dungeons is like, and the mythics, and the getting the gear and the legendary. I want to get up there.
All right. Well,
the Druid
I think that's it. I think we should call it a night. That is going to be next weekend, BlizzCon Online. That's what we're going to be streaming online at Heartland PAE, all one word, and Beepo_gaming for Brandon. And we'll hopefully be talking with you. Me and Brandon will be talking anyways. We'll be chatting with y'all in the chat room, hopefully. And then I'll see y'all in the game.
We'll see y'all there.
I changed it up, didn't I? This show is brought to you by Heartland Production Entertainment. If you'd like to help to make the show better, go to patreon.com/HeartlandPAE.